Hi, Ethan here. Uh, I was gonna do Twisted Worlds, but I got a bit of a bitter, salty mood about a certain subject. But it's not gonna be completely salty or anything. It's just consider this a PSA. You know. Anyway, if you've looked in the past videos of my channel, you know I play Magic the Gathering. But what some of you might not realize is I live all the way in New Zealand. So, how do these two correlate, you may ask? Well, New Zealand isn't as big of a gaming hub as, say, America. So, a lot of product availability for card games isn't as expansive. We do get the latest sets, but it's not in great abundance. And it's heavily affected by market value in New Zealand and America. It all takes a toll. And there's no, massive card searching hub or card stockpile somewhere that allows us to get whatever cards we want for a deck, expensive or budget otherwise. It's due to availability. Now, you might be thinking, if that's the case, why not order online on stuff like TCG Player or Card Kingdom or whatever? Well, it's true those are options. There are issues with that. Let me go over that for a bit. This is the currency exchange between the US and New Zealand. As you can see, the New Zealand dollar is almost doubled that in the United States dollar, meaning the US dollar is more than double its value here. While on the flip side, in New Zealand, if we want to get something from the US, it is with easily almost double what we have to pay. Now, going with this logic, you'd probably think just buy solely budget cards. Well, that would be the case. That poses its own problems. Now, buying in budget doesn't solve all your problems. There are huge differentiates in international purchasing. And that's what makes this even more difficult. Because it's not just the cards that double the price. There's the shipping. That's also double the price. But what's more is something far more intricate, if you will. See, if you go to checkout on an international site, it doesn't tell you specifically that you're going to be paying double the money. And it's also not being specific in telling you about certain other aspects. For example, any like surcharges, added fees, government service taxes. They don't tell you any of that in checkout. And with the tariff exchange going on in the US, it makes it far, far more unpredictable what the amount is. Say I bought $200 of cards with shipping. Rough estimate would be like $415 NZ. But there's also the potential of added fees, added GST, added surcharges that it doesn't tell you then. So you can very well be spending a lot more money than just the exact amount you figure out. And that's what makes this very difficult. So that's why, even though I'm a Commander player in New Zealand, I cannot, for the life of me, order cards from TCG Player or Card Kingdom due to all these varying actions or whatever. It would literally cost me a fortune to get stuff from overseas like that. I'd need to like save up a lot of money for it. It's what really makes it difficult to play the game here. There's no availability here. And even though the only reasonable cost is to purchase locally, really, that's what makes it very difficult. So now we get to the meat of the sandwich here, so to speak. Basically, what I want people to be aware of is if someone ships to New Zealand, it will be significantly less money than if someone from New Zealand were to order from the US and have that shipped to them. You're all probably thinking at this point, oh, he's just online fencing, asking people to send him free cards or whatever. I mean, I would be happy if people were willing to do that for me, but I don't have anyone I know in the US that well enough to do that or whatever. But that leads to the point. If you know anyone overseas who plays Magic or any other card game, and you have cards you don't use anymore or are looking to unload, reach out to them. I'm sure they would appreciate it. And if they want the cards, all the more better. Help your fellow gamers, especially if they're international. If you've got a good friend who's overseas and is looking to play but doesn't have any cards, or the cards they want aren't available, help a homie out. I know this is a bit like, oh, he's still going on about all this and how he wishes he could get free cards from people. Again, there is some personal bias here. But again, I don't have anyone I can rely on for that. So if this message reaches out to anyone who's willing to help out a friend internationally, that's more than a victory for me. It doesn't have to be me. But if you're have someone you're close to like that, then it's a perfect victory for me. I hope this message treats you well. I hope you have a fantastic year. And I hope people will be able to help each other out. I'll see you next time.